Well, let me ask you, you brought up MetaMask, and that's obviously one of the most popular wallets in the space today. When I do a swap on MetaMask, it says swapping your crypto privately. Is it truly private?
I'd say absolutely not.
Your cryptocurrency transactions are much less private than you think.
This comes as a surprise to many users of crypto, but crypto is actually significantly less private than traditional payments.
Adam Gągol is the CEO of Blanksquare. Blanksquare is making privacy native to Web3 with a web app, a mobile app, and an SDK. Let's dive into the future of privacy in crypto and why Blanksquare is leading the way.
Adam Gągol, CEO of Blanksquare. Blanksquare is a composable privacy stack for Web3. Think Stripe for privacy. Adam, before we get into the product and what makes it special and who's it for, let's find out a little bit about you. What's your history in crypto and privacy in tech? Please introduce yourself to the Altcoin Daily audience.
Hey everyone, first of all, thanks for having me here. So I'm in crypto for quite a while. I started with mining, I think, 12 years ago, and that was like a much more. I remember this operation to be much more about woodwork because it was not really possible to buy a mining rig. So like, yeah, there was like early experiments in 2012 or early 14. That was a hobby. I was doing PhD at math back then. And I think I got into Ethereum around 2016. Started my own project in 2018. That was Aleph Zero back then. And back then, it seemed to that the main problem in entire crypto space was transaction speed and throughput. So that's what we aimed to solve. The project continued for 7 years, and but crypto shifted. Like as I see it now, these problems are actually solved, or at least solved to the degree that we need them to be solved right now. I mean, both speed and throughput. And the problem that I see right now, that we see right now in the project, is the enormous lack of privacy. I mean, this cryptosphere that was meant to be finances, but better and kind of like more democratic and more, I don't know, more promoting the rights of users. This entire space is actually leaking user data at a massive scale, which makes it actually unfriendly. So yeah, me and some of my friends that we work together for, well, sometimes 6, 7 years, we're trying to harness this mathematical skill that we had to solve this problem now.
So is that the same team as you have today with Blanksquare, or is this a totally new team and mission?
We've worked out, and the vast majority of team is working with us for 4+ years. So yeah, I'd say that we're doing ZK and various flavors of privacy for over 3 years. Vast majority of the team.
hmm So let's talk about Blanksquare. Like I said, it's like a Stripe, but with privacy. But please, you explain it. What is Blanksquare? What makes it special?
So what we want to build is essentially a middleware for privacy. While we do have user-facing products, as we see it, the problem cannot be solved by creating yet another product or like even yet another ecosystem or yet another chain. We want to solve this problem where it already exists. So we want to integrate with products that already have users, and we want to help these users to change as little in their way of doing things as possible, yet get this additional feature, this additional protection, I would say. So, like technically speaking, what we're doing is the EVM compatible layer based mostly on smart contracts and API to integrate SDK to integrate with various protocols. And I think we'll dig a bit deeper into that. What kind of protocols would that be? I think like the simple examples are wallets, but this by far is not the only thing that can be enhanced.
Yeah, so for clarity, you have the SDK kit, which you said could be integrated in wallets, but a whole host of different things. And then you also have an app as well, right? I was checking your website. I see you could get the web app, and it seemed like I could connect my wallet. And then what happens with that?
That's correct. Right now we have a web app live. When this interview is going to be live, there will be a mobile app live as well. We treat both of this as sort of showcases of how smooth can privacy be. Like one of the, I think, big problems for privacy is that there are projects aiming for it for 5+ years. And honestly, 5, 6 years ago, the technology was not there yet to provide a smooth experience. I don't want to go too technical into that, but basically, the proper privacy requires computation on user's device. And then computation used to take over a minute. So, like, that's not a good experience. Freezing the device for a minute or so is actually a terrible user experience. So, it has all this kind of like, it's for hacker vibe. Uh, so like that's why we're launching product as well. We want to escape from this classification that this is something for like only hackers or super technical users. No, this is something that can be seamless. This is something that can really be smooth right now. And I hope we are actually showing that with the web app. The computation time on the modern devices is around 1 second. So I'd say that it kind of smoothly goes into the general block time and general flow. It's barely noticeable at this point.
So, who is the product for? Am I correct in thinking that the SDK kit is B2B and then the web app is B2C?
Yes, I think it's correct. The web app is definitely B2C, and we do aim to build a community for our web app. I do believe that this is one of the user experience judging one of the best privacy web apps right now. But we also do want to show it for businesses to show like how to generally arrange the privacy experience because like it's inevitable that something needs to change. You cannot just have MetaMask with 100% the same experience, but private. Like it's gonna be rearranged a little bit. So we showing it like how this little bit can look like.
Well, let me ask you, you brought up MetaMask, and that's obviously one of the most popular wallets in the space today. When I do a swap on MetaMask, it says swapping your crypto privately. Is it truly private?
It's I'd say absolutely not. I mean, when you have a public address, so it doesn't matter what actually happens when you swap. If you hold your crypto on a public address, and then whatever is the outcome of the swap lands on the same public address, then it's not private in the sense of protecting you against someone who would like to use your financial information against you. What it can protect you against is, for example, MEV. This is why they use this name. Like it can protect you from someone who would like to snipe your swap and make you swap at the worst price. So yes, this is one layer where some degree of privacy and with a very limited, let's say, time, like your swap is limited for a few seconds just, that's enough to prevent from front running. But that's not enough to prevent from various actors that would like to use your general crypto activity against you in some way.
So it's a little bit private, but honestly, not where we need to be.
It's a little bit private. I mean, it solves part of the problem, but I'd say that we're still way, 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 way behind traditional finance and traditional non-crypto payment providers when it comes to privacy, which I think, and like this is actually one of the big problems in the space. This comes as a surprise to many users of crypto, that crypto is actually significantly less private than traditional payments.
Yeah, of course. And your instincts were correct. Please don't get too technical because I can tell you understand the back end. But how does your SDK make things private? Is it a cross-chain aggregator? Is it, ZK technology? Don't get too technical, but just generally, how does this work?
It's ZK technology, so this is based on the idea of a shielded pool. There are a few projects implementing similar things, and we have two modes here. So one is for, I would say, a bit deeper integration, where we introduce a concept of a private account for a given service. So either, like in a wallet, you can have a concept of a private account. You could deposit into the private lending pool, for example, as a liquidity provider. So this is a deep integration where the idea of privacy is that your funds go to a place where they sit together with the funds of numerous other users. And then when you get them out, it's impossible to tell for anyone whether it was you or someone else. So that's like a deeper integration, and this is the standard privacy. Although we, talking with various partners, noticed, I mean, this is, I would say, where the privacy should be in a couple of years. Like I sincerely hope that this will be the predominant standard. So like everyone will be sitting in this or the other shielded pool, and majority of actions will be initiated from it. But it has a problem, a very big user experience problem, which is that you cannot just put your $115 into shielded pool and just straight away initiate the action for $115 5 seconds later, because it's gonna be very easy to see that that was probably you. So there is this need of wait, of delay. And like one thing is that things get slow, and the other thing is that you need to actually click twice. And what's even worse, way worse, you need to click today and you need to click tomorrow again, which is actually a really horrible user experience if you just need kind of like a one-time privacy.
Too many clicks.
So too many clicks and too far from each other. I mean, you need to remember is I maybe I shouldn't say that, but I do have a diagnosed ADHD. This is absolutely horrible for me, like, and for many other people as well. I mean, if you need to remember to do this action again in several days, like, I don't know what's the percentage that you're gonna forget about it, but it's definitely not zero. So what we're doing is what we call one-click privacy. This is for a bit like more shallow integrations, where this delayed action is done automatically. So you can sign everything right now, which is technically not very trivial, but there is a way to do it. And then, well, yes, it's still gonna be a delay. You're gonna get this action that you want to do done within a couple of days, but you don't need to remember to click it again in 3 days. And for many actions, it doesn't matter all that much if it's an action of, for example, investing in something or putting your funds into some pool where they earn yield. I mean, many times they received that, yeah, I already initiated it, and like for the privacy reasons, it's gonna come in 2 days, but it's already initiated and kind of finalized. This is more than enough for many cases. This is, by the way, how traditional finance works. So we believe that this is a very reasonable trade-off here.
Pretty interesting to think about where the future of crypto and privacy could be heading and what you're spearheading. The elephant in the room, the one big concern about privacy that's always been around in crypto is the compliance issue. Regulators fear that it hides illicit activity. Now, obviously, crypto in the largest capital market, the USA today, a whole lot better. You're not a mixer, but I believe Tornado Cash got off scot-free, or at least they're no longer in the gulags. So the question is, how does Blanksquare approach compliance? Differently or the same? What's the best way?
So we are definitely much more compliance friendly than the examples that you mentioned. And I think in general, like there is this kind of a new wave of privacy protocols which look at things differently. So it's like we're not building a product for hardcore hackers and super technical people. We want to build products that are usable. And by usability here, I also mean that, well, if you use them, you're not gonna have problems with depositing funds on Binance, or like you're not gonna be red flagged just due to using this particular thing.
That's how it used to
and this
be.
is
That's how it used to be.
yeah. So we are flexible here, since we are middle layer. That's gonna depend on a particular partner. So the default for us right now is that there is a concept of we call it Shielder Guard. It's a way of retroactive revocation of anonymity of someone based on a proof of illicit activity. So we strongly believe that this is the only way. I mean, there is no reasonable delay for which one could wait to ensure that the funds are not from illicit source. Like there has been big hacks for hundreds of millions that has been detected months later. So like no reasonable protocol can have a month-long waiting period before deposit. And like by the way, this is also one of the pain points where there is a horrible trade-off between this absolute privacy and user experience. I mean, like there is this idea that if you want to have this super absolute privacy, there can be no retroactive revocation, but then like this waiting periods would have to be horribly long. So our default right now is that there is a way for revoking retroactively something that already happened, but it's a controlled process. So there is a key for that, and we're putting it into trusted execution environment, and we're building an on-chain process for revealing that. So it's going to be done in a transparent way. And this is a default, but that's not the only way. So right now we're talking with partners which are interested in a bit different, or actually quite similar technically, but a bit different take on that. So like if someone is already a payment provider, non-crypto payment provider, like more traditional payment provider, like they are used to basically keeping and owning all the financial data of their users. And when integrating into crypto, which is a very popular move right now, like they would prefer this to be run in the same model. Like having everything transparently visible on chain out of a sudden just because they enter blockchain, like that's not a reasonable thing to have, and that comes with various risks. So like the most default way for them to integrate crypto is to have anonymity revoking with a key held by them, because this is the direct replication of the system they already have in place for non-crypto payments, like let's say legally speaking, but also actually like technically speaking, this is the exactly same degree of privacy they are already offering their audience.
Interesting. Nuanced answer there. Kind of a big picture question. Is that where you see privacy in Web3 heading over the next 2 to 3 years?
Mm, I'd say that definitely there will be different verticals with different choices.
Or
So, like for example,
how do you see privacy evolving over the next 2 to 3 years?
so there is this Ethereum privacy roadmap, which I do believe it's going to be integrated. Well, hard to say when, but like within 3 years, I sincerely hope it's going to be a mainstream thing.
And I'm not as
And
familiar with the Ethereum roadmap
uh,
privacy. They're going to make it a lot more private?
it's an idea right now, and the idea is to, well, not that far from what we're building. The idea is to integrate privacy protocols into existing wallets, and this is the movement driven by, well, Vitalik among others, but also like the Ethereum, and like there are definitely going to be various avenues here. So like surely there are users in Ethereum which are actually hardcore enough to not accept anything besides this absolutely unconditional privacy. If something is private, it stays private no matter what. Like I've seen like there are various names for it, but I've seen even the term that like this should pass a North Korea test. If someone would decide that I'm from North Korea, still it should not be possible to reveal this transaction. So like this, there is this part of the audience that will accept nothing more, despite the fact they're not from North Korea, like most of them at least. Like this is still the ideological take where I think Privacy Pools is a project that is appealing to them. So there is this delay for fraud detection, but after the delay is gone, like it's unconditional privacy. So it's a trade, like they're making this trade-off where user experience is significantly worse, but you get this ideological value out of it. Then there are various payment providers for stable coins, for whom the audience is more general. They're even not necessarily crypto savvy users. They are just people that want their thing from the merchant and they want fast and cheap international payment. And well, yeah, they want it to be reasonably private, because they heard that that's gonna protect them, but definitely not at the cost of waiting a week to have the thing. So like there is this fraction, and this already shows that I mean, like at least that's my prediction that we're gonna have this space fragmented. Fortunately, the economy of privacy is such that doesn't necessarily fragment the ecosystem in the same way as, for example, spawning of various L2s do. So like when you have 50 different layer 2s, like the problem of interoperability between them, it's a major problem. And actually what you get is fragmented liquidity. And if you're on Base and someone else is on Arbitrum, of course you can transfer funds and the user experience is getting better and better, but still like swapping is using liquidity only on one of these chains, and there are various similar problems. So when it comes to privacy, like I don't see anything terribly wrong with the general ecosystem going into the direction where there are various pools run by various projects which are making different trade-offs. As long as each of them is big enough to actually offer reasonable degree of privacy, I think this is a generally very healthy direction for the ecosystem.
So it sounds like you're saying, as you're thinking about privacy in crypto in the future, that you think that we're trending towards more private. It's on Ethereum's roadmap. There's a lot of companies building privacy solutions. Might be a fragmented system in the future as some things more private than others, but generally crypto payments will be more private in the future?
Yeah, I think so. And there are two totally independent reasons for that. Like one is coming from this very, very crypto users, like the people who are actually building Ethereum. And the other is coming from the opposite side, from the side of institutions, which kind of want to, or payment providers which want to go into crypto, but the lack of privacy is a problem for them for very different reasons.
Mm-hmm. Couple more questions as we're wrapping up today. And guys, I encourage everybody to follow Adam on Twitter and check out the company linked below. And that, I wanted to hear more about the mobile app launch, because as you said, you have a mobile app launch, but it's not like the main product, or it's not like there's more products. Why are you launching the mobile crypto wallet if that's not the end product?
So we're still working on kind of creating this perfect privacy experience. So one of the main reasons for the launch right now is that it's kind of a gated release where there are codes that I suppose will be shared under the video, and we want users who download it to provide as much feedback as they can on how smooth they think it is, of what kind of problems and does they think it solves and what not necessarily so, of which of their general flows that of the things that they're usually doing with crypto, which of them are easy and which are not. This is the main reason of launching mobile right now. And of course we're gonna be changing it provided given the feedback provided, and then we're gonna use it for integrations with external products. So it's built of course based on our SDK, and big components of it will be reused for various integrations.
Yeah, so give us that call to action to our audience. Is it sign up for early access for the mobile app? Is there anything else? Give us that call to action.
Go below the video, get the code, download the app, provide feedback, and use it. It's really a good and safe app for your crypto.
Adam, thank you so much for coming on today. I encourage my audience to do that. Try it out. Follow Adam, follow the company. Any final thoughts for the Altcoin Daily audience, Adam?
Yeah, actually, I prepared. I thought about it a bit, and I think the big problem about privacy in general is that people tend to focus on this angle that it's about hiding bad actions from kind of lawful observers. While I think how we should think about privacy is hiding our generally good and lawful actions about against unlawful observers that want to use them against us. So like kind of there is this mantra that I don't need privacy because I have nothing to hide. And I think this is a terrible, terrible mantra. I absolutely hate it, even though I heard it 1,000 times. So it's not about having something to hide. It's about protecting ourselves and our data from various exploitation. And obviously, financial data can be exploited, like whether we're general users or businesses, this can be exploited and used against us if we don't protect it.
Love it. Couldn't have said it better if I tried regarding privacy. Adam, thank you so much.
Thank you.